City Youth Festival 2026.
To officially begin this program, may we request everyone to kindly stand for the opening prayer, followed by the singing of the Philippine National Anthem and the Tagum Mabuhay Ka hymn.
Let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Our Heavenly Father, we offer you our thanksgiving. We thank you for everyone gathered here today to walk with you. May we ask you for your blessings and guidance so that the activities set for this undertaking be successful. We ask you to open our eyes to see the wonderful things from this activity. We ask that you open our ears so that we may retain the invaluable knowledge. Open our minds for us to think wisely. Put us with understanding, cooperation, and peace in fulfilling our responsibilities. Open our hearts so that we may receive your everlasting love, and open our spirit so that we may know that you are with us all throughout the day. We ask all this in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang mag-ibig, kaya sa sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, kuya ka ng magiting, sa mandulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit kong bangaw, ay hinatang tula, kawin sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na naghihingi, ang bituin at araw niya kailan ang may maghihingi. Lumalang araw ng walhagin pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang inigaya ng pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng
Ayos! Isang mapagpalaya. Welcome to another exciting event of the Tagum City Youth Festival 2026.
This year's theme, Malalim at Malaya, Lasting Friendship for Sustainable Futures, reminds us that the strongest communities begin with genuine friendships.
Our symbol this year is the tabanog, the traditional kite. A kite doesn't soar on its own. It rises with the wind, stays steady because of its string, and flies higher with someone guiding it.
Just like us, we go farther when we lift each other up. Every connection we build, every hand we extend, and every opportunity we share strengthens not only ourselves, but the communities we serve.
And so today, ladies and gentlemen, let's make new friends, learn from one another, and create memories that will last beyond this festival.
Because just like the Tabanog,
We don't just fly, we soar together.
as the Tabanog dances with the wind, may each activity today strengthen the friendships that will carry us toward a more sustainable and united future.
And today's gathering perfectly reflects that vision. Good governance thrives when people trust one another, collaborate with sincerity, and work together toward a common goal.
Today, this afternoon, we gather not merely to attend another conference, but to become part of conversation that requires change, a conversation that empowers young leaders to become catalysts of accountability, transparency, participation, and servant of leadership.
And today, we proudly welcome all of you to the Good Governance Summit and a Seal of Good Youth Governance awarding ceremonies, an event dedicated to recognizing excellence, celebrating youth leadership, and strengthening our commitment to genuine public service.
Whether you are an SK official, youth organization leader, government partner, student, or community volunteer, your presence today reflects your commitment to creating for a better tomorrow.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I am Mark Namangkayaw.
And I am Marian Kaluban from the Tagum City Hosting Collectives.
Your masters of ceremonies. Our gathering today becomes even more meaningful because of the presence of individuals who continuously dedicate themselves to serving our communities.
It is therefore our distinct honor to acknowledge our distinguished guest. We warmly welcome our distinguished guest,
Starting with the Sangguniang Kabataan of Tagum City,
City Accounting Office,
City Budget Office,
City Planning and Department Office,
Commission on Audit.
and Department of Interior and Local Government.
We would also like to acknowledge our Tagum City Youth Development Council, the Tagum City Youth Organizations for Persons with Disabilities,
Tagum City Scholars Guild,
PRISM,
Young Climate and Disaster Actors,
Youth Service Philippines Tagum,
Tagum National Trade School Barkada Contra Droga,
Tagum City Next Gen Entrepreneurs,
TCNCHS Red Cross Youth,
TCNCHS SSLG,
Youth to the Nations Tagum Chapter,
Tanglao,
TCNCHS MAPI Club,
TCNCHS CSE Club,
TCNCHS TLE Club,
TCNCHS Artistic Dimension.
and allow me to welcome our private schools and institutions. Let us welcome Arisgado College Foundation Incorporated,
We'd also like to acknowledge the ACES Tagum College Incorporated.
Tagum College,
And of course, RMC Tagum College. And to all our distinguished guests and participants, thank you very much for honoring us with your presence. Palakpakan naman po natin ang bawat isa. Ayan, maraming salamat po sa pagpapaunlak ng inyong oras at panahon upang maisakatuparan ang pagkakataong ito. And of course, we would like to acknowledge and thank one of our sponsors of this summit, the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Mankilam, headed by Honorable Christian C. Mahinay. Ayan, palapakan po natin. Thank you very much.
At this moment, every remarkable event begins with words that inspire. To officially welcome everyone and formally open today's summit, allow us to introduce our opening speaker.
Our guest is known for his unwavering commitment to transparency, accountability, and people-centered governance. He believes that true leadership begins with genuine public service and meaningful collaboration.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is our privilege to introduce one of our city councilors and the chairperson of the Committee on Good Governance, Honorable Attorney Ed Mark Owakan. Let's give him a round of applause, please.
To our youth leaders, members of the Sangguniang Kabataan, our Tagum City Development Officer, Sir Edu Macabatas, my fellow legislator, our SK Federation President, Councilor Roan Angela Relion, the representatives from our barangays, officials, and personnel of the Tagum City Youth Development Office, our distinguished panelists and guests, fellow public servants, ladies and gentlemen, maayong hapon kaninyong tanan. Muragikan pa ni siguro nag-pickleball gabi ba kay wa ba katubag? Ha? Wala lagi, ha? It is a great privilege to join you today as we formally begin the Good Governance Summit and the 2026 Seal of Good Youth Governance Awarding. I would like to thank the Tagum City Youth Development Office and everyone who worked to organize this meaningful gathering. Your efforts have provided our young leaders with an opportunity to learn, share their experiences, and strengthen their commitment to serving their communities. When we speak of good governance, we often think of programs, policies, reports, and accomplishments. However, good governance is not measured only by what is written on paper. It is seen in how leaders listen to the people, respond to the needs of their communities, manage resources responsibly, and remain accountable for their decisions. Good governance is also about trust. That trust is earned when leaders are transparent, honest, responsive, and consistent in fulfilling their responsibilities. To our young leaders, you are often described as the leaders of tomorrow. But the truth is, you are already leaders today. Through your projects, consultations, advocacy campaigns, and community activities, you are already helping shape the future of your respective barangays and our city. Every program you organize and every young person you encourage to participate contributes to a stronger and more inclusive community. Today's summit gives us the opportunity to discuss what good governance truly means and how its principles can be applied in our communities. To our distinguished panelists and resource persons, Thank you for sharing your time, knowledge, and experiences. Your insights will surely help guide and inspire our youth leaders as they continue fulfilling their responsibilities. Today, we will also recognize the efforts of our youth councils through the 2026 Seal of Good Youth Governance. May this summit strengthen our commitment to governance that is transparent, accountable, inclusive, and responsive. May it also encourage our youth leaders to continue serving with integrity, compassion, and dedication. Together, let us build a Tagum where the voices of young people are heard, where they are actively involved in decision-making, and where they are given opportunities to contribute to the progress of their communities. Once again, welcome to the Good Governance Summit and the 2026 Seal of Good Youth Governance Awards. Congratulations to the organizers, participants, nominees, and of course to the awardees. Daghang salamat ug padayon kita sa pag-alagad sa kabatan-unan ug sa atong pinalanggang syudad sa Tagum. Maayong hapon sa tanan sa makausab.
Thank you very much, Honorable Attorney Edmark Owakan. Can we give him once again a biggest round of applause? Yan. Your words remind us that good governance isn't measured merely by policies or accomplishments, but by the trust we build, the lives we touch, and the future we create for every young Tagumeño. But before we proceed, I would like to announce everyone that we are all live on our page sa atuang Tagum City Youth and Sports Development Office. Please na lang follow and share our live sa atuang Facebook. Ayan, daghang salamat.
Indeed, and you know what? Leadership is not defined by position, but by purpose. May the message of Attorney continue to inspire us to become active partners in building a transparent, inclusive, and progressive community. Once again, thank you very much, Councilor Attorney Edmark Wakan.
And before we forget, so we would like also to acknowledge the presence of our invited institutions. We forgot kanina to acknowledge. So let us give a round of applause to the students from CMDI. And of course, from STI College. Yeah, thank you very much for your time and your effort for gracing with us today. And as we move to the heart of today's summit, we now prepare ourselves for a meaningful exchange of ideas from distinguished advocates and youth leaders.
And now, to guide us through today's discussion, we are privileged to have a moderator who possesses not only the knowledge and experience in governance, but also the passion for empowering young people through a meaningful conversation.
And our moderator today will facilitate panel discussion, ensuring that every perspective contributes to a deeper understanding of good governance and youth leadership.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in welcoming our ever-dynamic moderator,
Mr. JJ Titus Aguilar.
Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to the Good Governance Summit of the 2026 Tagum City Youth Festival. Today, we gather to explore the principles and practices of good governance through the perspective of three vital sectors: the academe, the NGO, and the government. As we engage in today's discussions, I encourage everyone to please listen with an open mind, reflect on the insights that will be shared, and consider how each of us can contribute to building a more transparent, accountable, and responsive community in Tagum City. I am JJ Titus Aguilar, and I am privileged to be your moderator for today. Now, it is my honor to introduce our distinguished panelists who will serve their knowledge, experience, and advocacies on good governance. Without further ado, let us introduce the first panelist. He is an educator and whose work is grounded in the belief that effective institutions are built through strong leadership, sound governance, and shared values. With 7 years of experience in the academe, they currently serve as the school director of the Rizal Memorial Colleges Incorporated in Tagum City, where they help lead the institution towards continued growth and excellence, specializing in quality assurance and educational leadership, as well as school governance and strategic planning. Bringing their experience in academic leadership to wider audiences, it is with great pleasure that we welcome them today as one of our distinguished panelists. Please help me welcome Professor Julito A. Orio.
To our City Government of Tagum councilors, to the team of the Tagum City Youth Development Office, to our SK officials, and the rest of the student leaders, isang mapagpalang hapon po, Tagumen Youth. Palakpakan naman po natin ang ating summit. Today I am so honored to be facing the future governors, the future mayors, the future entrepreneurs, and the future educators of this country and in this city. I am an educator, and at the same time, I have been serving also a non-government organization in Davao City, which focuses on disaster risk reduction and management. And at the same time, serving as a school director of Rizal Memorial Colleges and for 7 years already. Now, we are talking about good governance. In my years of service, I am only guided by these principles, and I call this, what you can see in the slide is a cargo ship. Why is it a cargo ship? Because good governance is like a cargo ship. It carries valuable resources and people towards a common destination. Now, in reaching that destination, we have to be guided with principles. And I introduced to you my principles that guided me throughout the years. And I call this the I-SEAT principles of good governance. The I's, meaning integrity. Integrity when nobody is watching. Well, most of us might say that integrity means, next slide please. Integrity means that you have integrity if you're not stealing money. So my question is, who among you is not a corrupt official? Who among you is corrupt official? Bakit walang nagpapataas ng kanilang mga kamay? We're talking about good governance here. Anyway, but it is more than that. Integrity is being honest with our attendance, no taking credit for another person's work, using school or SK funds properly, avoiding favoritism, be truthful in your accomplishment reports, and delivering what was promised during elections. The challenge for integrity is doing the right thing, even when no advisor, teacher, or voter is watching. The second one is sustainability. This is one of the most problem, by the way, of our governance, because what we can always see are one-day events, feeding programs, clean-up drives, tree planting without monitoring. Pinabayaan ang tinanim na kahoy, by next week patay na po ang mga kahoy. Now, the question for sustainability, what project will be benefiting your community or your constituents? And our challenge there is great leaders build systems and not just one-day events. Now, for letter E, that's evidence-based leadership. This is often lacking among our leaders because most of the projects that we see or they create are based on assumptions and not based on evidence, data, and the like. So, the challenge there is that good governance begins with facts and not assumptions. Next one, accountability. Accountability without excuses. We have been talking this all the time. However, many young leaders are quick to accept the title, but slow to accept responsibility. They're very good during the campaigns. They're very smiley. They're very enthusiastic during elections. But once they are elected to that position, where are they? Now, the challenge, if your project fails, who is accountable? Now, next one is to talk about transparency. We have been talking transparency as well for the last centuries. However, leadership nowadays is that they only submit records for compliance, statutory requirements, so on and so forth. However, transparency should focus on where money went, why a project was chosen in the first place, who benefited, and what the results were. Kasi sayang naman po ang pera natin. The challenge there, if every peso spent by your organization, school, or NGO today will be projected on a screen today, would you be proud? That's a thoughtful question. Now, as a school director, I have learned something very important. A school is not built by buildings. A school is not built by people or students. Policies matter, facilities matter. However, character matters more. And that's why we are here today. And this is same to your barangay, and this is same for our city and for our country as well. Good governance does not begin in government. It begins in student councils, youth organizations, and in the character of every young learner. So with these principles, we were able to raise different programs for our NGOs in Davao City, and also initiatives in our educational institution. Good afternoon.
Once again, our educator and school director, Professor Julito A. Orio. I apologize, sir. Oh, Captain, my Captain, I truly am seated, and I hope all of you are excited to hear Mr. Orio's discussion. Our next panelist serves as a Sangguniang Kabataan Chairperson of Barangay Dahican, Mati City, where she champions youth leadership anchored on good governance, volunteerism, and inclusive community development, where she was named the Outstanding Youth Leader of the Province of Davao Oriental and one of the 100 most outstanding barangay officials in the Philippines. She also pioneered innovative programs such as the Serbisyong Kabataan Youth Volunteer Passport Program and the Junior Youth Officials Program, cultivating a leadership, active citizenship, and public service among young people. This panelist continues to inspire youth to lead with integrity, compassion, and a genuine commitment to building sustainable and inclusive communities. Please help me welcome Honorable Hannah Faye B. Morales.
Dagang salamat for the warm welcome. Before I will begin with my talk, allow me to express my heartfelt gratitude to Honorable Attorney Ed Mark Wacan, to the Council, to the Tagum Youth Development Officer, Sir Edu Macabatas, and to the whole team for the invitation, sa mga kapwa kong mga tagapagsalita, mga panauhin, at sa mga kapwa nating kabataang leader, isang makabataang araw sa ating lahat. It's an honor to stand before all of you today to share one of the values that has guided me throughout my journey as an SK chairperson: good governance. When people hear the word governance, they often think of positions, authority, power, or even politics. But for me, good governance equates with service. It's all about making decisions that benefit the people rather than ourselves. Leadership is not about being in front. It's about standing with your community and serving them with integrity. Before I even became an SK chairperson, I already spent more than 13 years of my life as a volunteer. serving in community activities, environmental campaigns, and various civic programs. Those experiences taught me that leadership begins long before holding a position. Leadership begins when you choose to help without expecting recognition. And today, through the Sangguniang Kabataan, I had the privilege of serving our youth for more than, or at least 3 years. During this time, I realized that good governance starts with listening. Before implementing projects, we listen sa totoong pangangailangan ng mga kabataan. Kung ano nga bang mga programa ang totoong magbibigay ng impact sa ating komunidad. And one of our best practices in Barangay Dahican is the inclusive governance. We include volunteers, schools, stakeholders, government agencies, private businesses, because programs became more meaningful if they are not only owned by one person. They are owned by the entire community. We also have transparent and accountability governance, no? Na pinapakita natin na lahat ng ginagawa natin ay transparent. We also believe in innovative governance na hindi lamang sa meetings, sa seminars at sa symposiums ang ating ginagawa, but we introduce programs that allow young people to experience leadership firsthand. We have programs such that the Junior Youth Officials, Barangay Level, the Dahican Youth Volunteer Program, and etc. And to end this talk, I encourage everyone, let us be the leaders who serves for the betterment of the community and truly for a better Philippines. Naway mag-iwan ang bawat isa ng hakbang na siyang susundan ng susunod nating mga kabataang leader. Daghang salamat, and may we all continue to lead with integrity, serve with humility, and inspire others through good governance.
Once again, hailing from the city of beautiful beaches, Honorable Hannah Faye Morales. Now, we're down to our last panelist. He brings with him 11 years of professional experience as a licensed environmental planner, working closely with key stakeholders across Metro Davao in advancing urban and environmental planning initiatives. He is currently the urban planner in the Philippine Institute of Environmental Planners in Davao City. Academically, they hold a bachelor's degree in secondary education from the Ateneo de Davao University, a Master of Science in Environmental Management specializing in land use planning from the University of Southeastern Philippines, and a Diploma in Urban Transportation and Sustainability from the Institute of Transportation and Development Policy. Without further ado, let us welcome our last panelists, Mr. Lemuel Lloyd I. Manolo.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to the leaders of the local government unit of Tagum City, Sir Edu and Councilor Wakan. Daghan kayong salamat for inviting me. This is truly an honor to share the advocacies, especially on urban planning and good governance. So I will tackle further what is the, I think you're familiar already with the 17 SDGs, right? The Sustainable Development Goals. But for the urban planning, we actually respect a lot, no? Especially on the SDG 11. Hopefully we can go to some of my photos that I can show you. It's all about championing for sustainable cities. SDG 11 talks about sustainable cities. And then if you go to the next slide, it discusses what is the explanation behind SDG 11. It's about making cities, human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Well, I don't need to enumerate everything or the sub-indicators in the entire SDG 11, but here are some of my hand-picked photos that reminded me about my advocacy and then also my professional work. So, first is this photo. It's about planning and placemaking. Now, the Target 11 tells about the inclusive urbanization and participatory. No? Participatory, that's a very important component of good governance. Yung tinatawag natin na collaborative governance. And we can't do it if we do it on our own. No? If the LGU or the government will just do it by themselves, they need to collaborate with the different sectors. And I like this photo here because our approach in inclusive planning is about placemaking. Okay? So placemaking is about working with the grassroots, working with the communities in developing their places. Like for example, one of our project is a park. No? In the next photo, we have here, we built a park for the community. And I'm really proud of this one because this is not funded by the government. Basically, this is our own initiative with the community, with the homeowners association. And we call it the Kasadja Park. Long and ever years ago, these spaces are idle. No? No value and nothing's happening in this place. But because of the placemaking, we provided safe and green public spaces. And some photos, I will show you the next photo. We have here, there's the Kasadja Park. Okay, let's next go to the next slide, or the next photo. And we also advocated the walkability study of Metro Davao, the Davao City, and Tagum City. We conducted a research on walkability, and it led to different actions. And one of it is the establishment of the car-free Sundays in the Caustol Road, dito sa Davao City. So isa sa mga recommendations that really provided concrete actions. Another photo we have, let's go to the next slide, is proposing for heritage sites or cultural heritage sites or car-free zones at these different roads. No? And then another one, we'll have another photo here, affordable and sustainable transport systems. Our studies before provided the bicycle infrastructure or bicycle lanes sa Davao City. And we still advocate and promote inclusive mobility. Next photo. Yes, this is in Tagum City. So we hope that there will be more cyclists and mobility advocates in all of the cities that we're working with. And then for the last photo, this is my personal advocacy, the PWD inclusivity. So if you go through my blog, it's entitled Our Habitat. Nandun po lahat dinidiscuss ko on what will be the proper human-centered designs appropriate for our PWD sector, especially when it comes to transport. So again, SDG 11 is not only the local government units, but it is collaborative governance. Daghang kayong salamat.
Hailing from the King City of the South, once again, let us welcome Mr. Lemuel Lloyd I. Manolo. Now that all of our panelists have been introduced and have shared their respective advocacies, each reflecting their unique experience and expertise and perspectives from their respective sectors, we now move on to the highlight of the summit, the panel discussion. Panelists, kamusta man? Are you comfortable here in Tagum? Okay.
I'm from Tagum, so
From
maybe
Tagum.
you should ask them.
to Honorable Hannah and Sir Lemuel, how are you? Just check, from a scale of 1 to 10, how's your mood?
For me naman, sir, I just came straight from Mati City pa. So, pagdating ko talaga, diretso ako dito. Tapos, from how I perceive Tagum's very clean. And there are really a lot of friendly people. So, I'm in a good mood. Kahit pagod.
Okay, grabe ang commitment ni Ma'am, no? Gikan pa ugmate, diretso dayon. Ing Ana, how about you, sir, from Davao?
Yeah, I like the city branding of Tagum way before. I like the music, yun color ng Tagum, and it reflects to all of the activities. It's very festive, it's very colorful. Reminds me of other cities as well. But I can really see the soul of the city here. And Mas lalo na yun youth sector that is very much active in the city. This is one of the things that I'm really proud of living here in the Metro Davao.
Okay, thank you, sir. Ayan nga, di ba? We have a moniker, City of Festivals. Now, without further ado, but before we talk about good governance, its practice, its principles, perhaps we should first ask the most fundamental question. To you, my dear panelists, what is your definition of good governance based on your principles, based on your values? But how would you define good governance? Let's start with Professor.
Actually, in all matters or aspects of good governance, there is only one focus, and that is to transform others, especially your constituents. And I think that is the very meaning of good governance. When you're able to deliver what should be delivered, and these actions or programs are able to transform lives for the better. That's for my end. Thank you.
How about to Honorable Hannah?
Well, for me naman, sir, it's all about it's the really core, the service. When we deliver service to the people, we really hear them out. Kasi it's not just all about our ideas. Though we reflect upon every day na nakikita natin yung mga pressing issues sa community, but it's not just all about us. Crafting programs that would lead us to good governance would really need consultation to the people for us to show the true transparent and inclusive governance.
Thank you. To Mr. Lumuel.
Yes, good question. And well, first and foremost, I think it's not limited to politics alone or political science. And good governance kasi is way more deeper. When we talk about structures, when we talk about dynamics of a certain city, mahirap din ang isang city if walang good government, no? So who will manage the policies? Who will manage the land use? No? Who will manage the zoning? Good governance is actually yung center dito is the people. The people. I mean, not the people in the government, but the mass, no? The masses. I mean, we need to diversify our sectors when it comes to participatory and collaborative governance. Those cities that really work with these sectors, I mean, hindi naman sila malagyan ng award with the DILG, mga scorecard ng DILG on having good governance, but genuinely, by heart, they want and they listen. Tama yung sinabi kanina ni Chair Hannah, no? They listen to people. So that's really governance is all about. No? Because it's not about enforcement alone. It's not about just implementing the policies alone. But it involves facilitation. It involves being, showing empathy to the different sectors. Kasali na dito yung youth, kasali na dito yung PWD, environmental sectors, environmental groups, and even yung mga elderly natin, kasali dapat natin sila because we need to, the more voices that we gather, it shapes our city better.
Thank you for those wonderful insights, ma'am, sir. So before lang we proceed with the entirety of our panel discussion, okay lang yung kayo mag-Bisaya. We will not restrict you in using Tagalog and English. You can...
Makasabot ba tanan og Bisaya diri?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Baka may Tagalog or American dito, ha? So okay. So no need to restrict yourselves with English or Tagalog. You can use Bisaya. Ayan. Although each of our panelists approaches governance from different fields. No, we have Professor Orio's transformation, Honorable Hannah's participation and service, and Mr. Lemuel's interdependence in all of the sector or holistic governance. However, governance only becomes meaningful when these principles are translated into action. So let us now explore what good governance actually looks like in practice within each of your respective sectors and areas. So let us first start with the academe. For my question,
Ayun na yun. May question?
yes po. Not yet, sir. Okay, sorry. So first, let's start with the academe. As the school director of Rizal Memorial College Incorporated, you play a vital role in shaping the culture and direction of your institution. From your perspective, how do the principles of good governance influence the way schools are managed and decisions affecting students, faculty, and the entire institution?
All right, thank you for that question. Well, talking about SDGs as well, quality education, SDG number 4, is our main goal. Now, in the institution context, we have these key result areas and aligned with quality assurance. Now, talking about these quality assurance, key result areas, there are different aspects to explore. Number 1 is academic excellence. Number 2, research. Number 3, community engagement and facilities. These are the 4 pillars of an education. If you cannot have these 4, you are not a school at all. So the challenge now, especially in our case as a private school, we are not directly governed by Department of Education or the government. We still have our own leeways and freedoms in terms of academics. So we are doing everything in terms of academic excellence because it is ordinary that we have graduations. It is ordinary that we recognize our students. But the challenge is we have to move beyond that minimum requirement in that ordinary situations. So in our case, in our MC Tagum, we implemented different programs for academic excellence. And this academic excellence benefits all our students. Let's say, for example, in the classroom management itself, the arrangement of chairs, in research, it is proven that a classroom should be arranged in a U-shaped manner. So we have been implementing the U-shaped manner this year already because this promotes active participation, this promotes a collaboration according to research, and it is proven. Next one of the problems nowadays is that most of our students are coming from different schools in Tagum City. So they're going to enroll to our school, perhaps for junior high school or senior high school. And one of the problems there is literacy. Nakaabot sila ng senior high school pero hindi marunong magsulat ng isang nakakatuwa at tamang sanaysay or an essay. So, however, our curriculum mandates that senior high school students should produce qualitative research, should produce quantitative research. Now, how can these students produce a good and sound research if they cannot even write a proper essay? So, what we did is we go back to the basics. We conducted needs assessments to our students, and we realized perhaps they are a product of the system, and wala akong magawa kasi ang sistema natin is coterminous kung sino nakaupo sa ating Department of Education and the Commission on Higher Education. So what we did, we go back to the basics, we conducted different literacy programs, and by God's grace, we are able to produce good research. And speaking of research, we actually qualified for the Durungawan Research Congress for this August 10, I think. So these are one of the practices. Now, other than that, we also do, in terms of academic excellence, rigid writing practices. So, I know that formal themes was implemented years and years ago. So we are doing formal themes again, integrating the formal themes in all levels, from junior high school, senior high school, and even college. Because some college students cannot write properly. They cannot speak properly. So that is a concern. And other programs as well. Now, other than that, we also have youth empowerment in our school as volunteer myself. So I integrated SDR RMO programs in our school. And today we also transition to Red Cross Youth as well. In fact, they're having their trainings right now as we speak in our school. Also, other than that, we also integrate the beauty of sportsmanship. So we have to engage our students into sports. So these perspectives actually of excellence is not only applicable to education, but it can be applied also in our government, in our local units, also in our barangays, for example. Now, other than that, we have research. Our school is a research-driven institution, and everyone is very familiar with that. Some might say that research is life, but some might say research is death. It's up to you. But it is a mandate, so we cannot do anything, but we have to comply. So ang ginagawa na lang po natin is kailangan pagaanin ang buhay ng mga bata sa larangan ng pananaliksik. Don't let the research be the hindrance to their success. Kasi some cases, muundang ang bata kay nahadlok sa research. Na-depress ang bata kay na-stress sa research because ang panel gilabay ang ilahang manuscript sa ilang atubangan. Kaya ang panel wa po siya kabaloon sa iyang pangutana. Alright. So anyway, other than research inside the school, we also do research for sustainable development. Kasi research is our foundation. Kasi malalaman natin dito kung ano talaga yung problema. It is not enough that we observe. It is not enough that we suroy-suroy. No, we travel in our barangay. Ito ang problema ng barangay. It's not enough. It should be scientific and evidence-based, as what I have said. And next one is community. Schools are mandated to really engage with community. There's a saying which states that, and I quote, "It takes a village to educate the child," end quote. So, I always believe on that mantra, and I have been implementing different engagement activities in the community. It can be in the barangay. Mangkilam is here, our very active barangay, also our adopted barangay as well, and also different barangays in Tagum, and different departments, agencies, so on and so forth. Sabihin mo na kung ano yun. Pupuntahan namin. Okay. Next one is facilities. One of the main problem of all programs, it can be in education, it can be in government, non-government, facilities. Kasi in the first place, walang pera. Okay, for example, in our case, we are a private school. We only depend on the number of students enrolling in our school. That is the bloodline of our finances. So, the challenge there, kahit wala tayong ganoong kalaking pera, we are not billionaires yet, but our mindsets are full billionaires. So we have to coordinate with donors. We have to talk with some people, the billionaire people, the millionaire people, and some other, able people. And talk about future programs, talk about initiatives, and through these collaborations, we are able to fund different activities inside the school or even outside the school. So international, national, and local activities were funded both from the school and as well as through collaborations. So I think that's all for me.
Okay, thank you. I really love how you're passionate in terms as an educator and as also an advocate for disaster resilience and how you're implementing this within your institution as the school director. Now we move on from the academe to the NGO. Mr. Limuel, here's my question for you. As an environmental planner, your work involves shaping communities through land use, transportation, and sustainable development. From your perspective, what does good governance look like in the field of urban and environmental planning, and why is it essential to creating livable and resilient communities?
Yeah, well, it should be the main philosophy ng isang government, no? When we shape better cities, livability, safety, and security among our communities. So it needs to have many processes, madaming process and levels of, but it's not that complicated. Kasi what we need to do is to really reach out. So as in the perspective of a non-government organization, marami akong experience working with the government, the local government unit. It's not Davao only. Tagum City is one of our partners, and I really commend the local government unit of Tagum na grabe yung partnership and collaboration ng organization ko. Previously, I work with. No? It involves research. Kasi itong policy, when we pass policies, hindi kasi ito mag-sustain if there's no backbone coming from the people. And that's the role of the civil society organizations. Because if it's only the initiative of the policymaker, walang support from the people, then maybe it will pass through but it will not sustain, I'm sure. Nandun lang yun sa kanyang administrative year or administrative time. But we need lots of years to continue the development. And in order for that to happen is that we need policymakers who really collaborate with the different civil society organizations and different sectors. Every policy must coming from a research. Connected dun sa sinabi ni Professor kanina. So, because makita natin yun mga research natin as of now, sadly, some of the universities, after the publication, it will just be stored at their knowledge center, no? Sa mga libraries. And then, wala na mangyayari after. But if we think about studies na pwede natin i-recommend to the local government unit, and that will have actions of it. So, that's one of my challenges as also in the academic sector, to provide policy sound studies and encourage your students to be aware of the political landscape, the environmental issues, urban issues that's happening in every city. Kasi doon makikita yun, critical thinking and solutions natin through studies. And I really appreciate policies that came out from studies. And to highlight some of my experiences, well, first in Davao City, we have the bicycle lanes. No? Before it was implemented by the DPWH, it was the project of the local government unit. CTMO pa lang ang nag-delineate noon, the traffic management unit. No? Wala pang assistance from the DPWH. So this was pandemic time when our bicycle lanes were fully delineated. No? Sinong nagbabike dito? No? Who are fellow cyclists here? Di ba may bicycle lanes na rin dito sa Tagum City, right? And it's very helpful for the cyclists to be very safe. No? Before it was adopted by the DPWH, our group was one of the lobbyists who really want it to be at the national level. And the pandemic time was the very most strategic time kung pwede natin to siya i-lobby. Kasi nagkulang ng transportation noon na time. So, before it was implemented by the DPWH, we had lots of citizen studies. So, citizen-led, no? Coming from ano yung mga magiging plans for the bicycle lane, saan ilagay, no? Sa ano na mga streets, ano na mga avenues. And the government alone doesn't know this. Kasi hindi man sila ang mga cyclists, no? I really appreciate those who are really bicycle users in the government, no? And I also encourage public transport, no? Especially if nandoon kayo sa governance. That is really, really good. Pero in the sense of engineering and DPWH and DOTR, they have the fund, they have the project details, but the experience of being a bicycle user as for using it in commute might be different. Kaya doon kami papasok, no? And all of our studies, no, coming from mapping, coming from profiling, design, we collaborated it with the local government unit. And it was one of the cities, ang Davao City, who first implemented the bicycle lanes before the DPWH project. So meron ng mga around 50 to 60 kilometers of bicycle lanes that were first implemented. And we have advocated for it lots of years already. Ang pandemic lang pala ang nakapa-shift nun sa ating mga bicycle lane infrastructure. And hopefully, more cities will have theirs. I think the Mati City have already a bicycle lane. Malaking tulong yun na implement na siya ng DPWH para it will be on the national level. And more bicycle users will manage that. No? Actually, hindi lang kasi yung benefit niya for the bicycle users. Because if we have bicycle lanes, it will be also safe for the pedestrian. It will be safe for those who are walking. Kasi malayo kayo doon sa high-speeding roads. No? Kapag may bicycle lanes, controlled ang ating mga speed limits dyan. So, it adds to the safety, overall safety of the road, of the entire road. Mas lalo na sa mga PWD natin when crossing or intersections. So, these are the elements of a sustainable city. Cycling should be there. No? Yung mobility natin should also design on all of the human-centric factors. Everyone has a part of the road, not only vehicles, hindi lang yung mga four-wheeled vehicles. Kasi if the four-wheeled vehicles will be the king of the roads, masyadong risky ito. It will be very prone to accidents, road crashes, and no wonder Baguio City has an ordinance on the king of the road ordinance. No? I think some of the youth representatives here joined our walkability audit. Ayun, marami. So, thank you sa pag-volunteer. It is one of the citizen-led studies that we organize. And we also encourage that there will be more studies pa, which will be initiated by the academe, to really support and be the backbone of every policy initiatives of the local government. And I see it in that dynamics. Kapag meron tayong ganun na flow, I see it as a sustainable city.
Okay. Thank you for your definition. I really want to highlight how you emphasize on the safety for the people, for the government, for everyone within the city, and how you define it as a sustainable one. Now, let's move on to our government sector. To Honorable Hannah, this is my question for you. As a Sangguniang Kabataan chairperson, you've championed initiatives that place young people at the center of community development. From your experience, what does good governance look like in youth participation, and how does it influence the way programs are designed, resources are managed, and the needs of young constituents addressed?
So maraming salamat, sir, sa katanungan. I think it's not only the problem of a single city, but a problem of whole Philippines. Our DILG already announced, may mga hearsay rumors na gusto i-abolish si SK. Kasi nga, iilan, not iilan, pero ang dami pong sangguniang kabataan na, as mentioned earlier, is just for one-day programs. So, the fund of the people, the 10% share fund in the barangay, so iba-iba naman kasi yung level ng NTA bawat barangay. The question is, how do we manage it and make impactful programs out of it na hindi din naiiwan yung nakasanayan ng ating mga kabataan, just like the pageants, the usual palaro. So in our own community, what I do, hindi ko talaga iniwan yung nakasanayan kasi since our barangay, we are known to be home of the champions. Sa lahat ng mga sports, let us first say the basketball, the volleyball. So, isa kami sa parang kinatatakutan talaga when we play inter-barangays. So, we allotted funds out from that. But, I assure, since we have the 10 Youth Center of Participation, hindi dapat mawawalan ng pondo ang ibang mga Youth Center of Participation just because we want also to prioritize the excitement, yung gusto na mangyari ng mga kabataan na ay nagilingaw, diba? But on the other part of that, it is a very big challenge for us. Lalo na yung mga progressive leaders ng mga SK, mga kabataang leader. Back then, I was also elected as the University Student Council President, the first USC President of Davao Oriental State University, the lone university in the province of Davao Oriental. Dami kong mga minentor, tumakbo rin. Sadly, natalo. So, right now, kaya yung ginagawa ko, mentor ako ng mentor, I go from school to school, city to city, province to speak, no? To speak for the reality doon sa mga kabataang leader. Since nawawala na sila ng confidence, kasi what happens sa the reality in the community? During barangay elections, ito talaga yung totoo, di ba? It's all about the charm, the popularity of those who will run. Napakasagad sa akin. I've been like in the high school years. Simula noon, tumatak sa isip ko, sa puso ko, na I'll be striving hard for the betterment na deserve talaga ako na mamuno para sa mga kabataan. The heart, the knowledge, the actions, the experience, na ready talaga ako para sa mga kabataan. But I ended up later in the years ago na hinanda ko talaga ang sarili ko that I want to serve as for the whole city. Pero hindi nangyari yon because hindi permitted ng circumstances, political landscape. But through good governance, I want to instill sa mga kabataan nating leader that there's still a hope. If we will be able, dahan-dahan, mapaiba natin yung mindsetting at culture ng mga kabataan na hindi lang si SK palaro, si SK hindi lang pageant, but we are more than that. We can initiate environmental programs. Kasi since si Dahican is a tourist spot in the heart of the city of Mati, ang daming mga turista pumupunta sa amin just to conduct coastal cleanup drives, environmental campaigns. So nagiging sentro kami ng mga studies doon. But the very first one that they want to tap, naghahanap sila ng active organizations, and that would be us. So, pinaagi kay SK Dahican, the smallest unit who is serving the barangay in the city, kami yung nagpapasa pa ng resolution dun sa city government. Yeah, so that's what we are doing. We want to be the model sa iba pang mga SK Council na kung ang iba ay passive na, let us say na matatapos na yung term for this year, hindi ito panahon para magpahinga. But rather, panahon pa rin na ipagpatuloy yung mga magandang nasimulan natin. Since we are not just running out of time, but we need to replicate another us na mga productive and progressive leaders para may sumunod talaga sa mga pinagsimulan natin o may yung mga legasiya natin. So, sayang ang oras, panahon, sakripisyo, mga shared knowledge, partners with government agencies, with other stakeholders, if we will just let another leader na out of nowhere lalabas just because napilitan at pinatakbo lang sila. Tapusin na natin yung ganung kultura, no? If really we want a truly genuine, better service, then let's choose those leader who has a really vision and who will really listen to the needs of the community and the people. So we are talking all about inclusive governance. So kinakailangan talaga natin i-include yung mga kabataan, yung mga volunteers. No, napakaraming kabataan na gusto mag-volunteer, wala lang silang platform. So that is why in our barangay, we welcome all youths coming from the different barangays in Mati. We have 26 barangays. So I welcome them. Since our youth festival, we call it Bugsa Youth Festival, will start actually tomorrow. So this will be our last day for preparation. Tapos ito, uwi din ako kagad. And that would be running for 2 weeks. We are actually welcoming different volunteers coming from the different barangays. We have more than nearly 60 volunteers, no? Iba't ibang barangay yun. And we're not gatekeeping this opportunity. Kasi kung hindi nila naranasan yun sa ibang barangay, we will give them that opportunity. Because leadership, no? It's not all about gatekeeping opportunities. It's all about helping young people to collaborate, help them network with other governmental agencies or other partners. Yan pa, sir.
I really like the term inclusive governance. No, dili mo choosy. Dili man ka diri nga barangay nganong diri amang ka. Like you accept everyone, no. Unfortunately, as much as I want to ask more questions and open this discussion to an open forum, we are unfortunately out of time and we have to proceed with the program. Ayan. audiences, you have witnessed, and I hope na naminaw ang uban, nakakita ko diri daghanag nangatulog, 'di ba? All of this, no, all of their inputs and insights have been dynamic. I really like how passionate you are with your work, with your initiatives, and how you transform, how you serve, and how you make things holistic for everyone in your work, in your profession, and for the betterment of your individual sectors. Ayan, let's give them a round of applause, everyone. As we come to a close, I hope that everyone gained a fresh perspective about good governance from the lenses of the academe, the NGO, and the government. In that, good governance establishes itself from principle, acted through consistent practice, tested through relentless challenges, and reflected through sustainability. And with that ends our panel discussion. I am now giving back the floor to our Masters of Ceremony. I hope naminaw ang tanan, no? Dagan ka kung natun-an diri, naminaw lang ko sila, ha? And I really like how inspirational they are. Once again, let us give them a round of applause.
Thank you very much to our ever-dynamic moderator, Mr. JJ Titus Aguilar, and to our panelists. Ayan, palakpakan po natin silang lahat. I hope that you have learned so much from our panelists. And thank you very much for facilitating such a meaningful and enlightening discussion. And I believe, this afternoon we were all reminded that good governance is not merely a principle that we talk about. It is a commitment that we live out every day through integrity, accountability, transparency, and active citizen participation.
Indeed, and at this juncture, we also want to extend our heartfelt appreciation to all our participants for your thoughtful engagement to the question. Your curiosity, insight, and willingness to learn reflect the passion and potential of the youth to become transformative leaders for the future communities.
And as we move forward, may the ideas and experiences shared by our panelists inspire us to continue creating positive change wherever we may serve.
Sabi nga nila, knowledge becomes even more meaningful when it is shared. This afternoon, our speakers generously shared not only their expertise but also their personal experiences, inspiring each one of us to lead with purpose and serve with integrity.
And as a simple yet sincere expression of our gratitude, we shall now proceed with the presentation of certificates of appreciation to our distinguished panelists for their invaluable contribution to today's Good Governance Summit. And at this juncture, may we request our Youth Development Officer, Mr. Edu G. Macabatas, and our chairperson on the Committee on Good Governance, Honorable Attorney Ed Mark O. Wakan, to kindly proceed to the stage. Can we give them once again a biggest round of applause? Once again, maraming salamat po sa ating mga panelista. Thank you, ma'am and sir. And once again, palakpakan po natin silang lahat. I hope marami po tayong natutuhan at marami po tayong mai-a-apply sa ating mga kanya-kaniyang mga komunidad, kanya-kanyang mga institusyon dito sa ating lungsod ng Tagum. Ayan.
Once again, thank you so much, everyone. This afternoon has been a dedication, a celebration of learning, collaboration, and inspiration. From meaningful conversation to insightful exchange of ideas, we have witnessed how good governance takes shape through native participation and commitment to leadership.
True to the spirit of the Tagum City Youth Festival, we celebrate not only leadership and excellence, but also creativity, culture, and self-expression, because every performance tells a story and every artist inspires us to dream a little bigger.
Totoy, bilisan mo ang takbo. Ilagang mga bombang nakatutok sa ulo mo. Totoy, tumalon ka, dumapa kung kailangan, at baka tumaan ka ng mga balang ligaw. Totoy, makinig ka, huwag kang magpagabi. Baka mapagkamalan ka, tumandusay dyan sa tabi. Totoy, alam mo ba kung ano ang punot dulo ng di matapos-tapos na kaguluhang ito? Hindi pula't dilaw, tunay na magkalaban. Ang kulay at tatak ay di siyang dahilan. Hanggat marami ang lugmok sa kahirapan, tayo laro ay para lang sa mayaman. Ang may tatsulok at sila ang nasa tuktok, di matatapos itong gulo. Ililigtas ang hininga ng kairaming mga tao. Ang dating munting bukid ngayon'y simenteryo. Totoy, kumilos ka, ibalik na rin ang tatsulo, tulad ng dukha na inilagay mo sa tukto. Hindi pula't dilaw, tunay na magkalaban. Ang kulay at tatak ay di siyang dahilan. Hanggat marami ang lugmok sa kahirapan, at ang hustisya ay para lang sa mayaman. Sabay-sabay! Habang may tatsulok, di matatapos itong gulo. Pula't dilaw, tunay na magkalaban. Ang kulay at tatak ay di siyang dahilan. Hanggat marami ang lugmok sa kahirapan, at ang hustisya ay para lang sa mayaman. Sabay-sabay ulit! Habang may tatsulo, di matatapos itong gulo. Habang may tatsulo, di matatapos itong gulo. Di matatapos itong gulo.
sasabihin, kaya mo to. Tanglaw sa gitna ng gulo. Sigaw mo sa hangin, tuminig at magsilbing liwanag. Liwanag sa dilim, harapin mong magiting ang bagong awitin. Ikaw ang liwanag sa dilim. At sa paghamon mo sa agos ng ating kasaysayan, bukit ka ng bagong daan. Oh, oh, ikaw ang awit ang kaya mo to. Tuminig ka sa dalaw sa gitna ng gulo. Isigaw mo sa hangin, tumindig at magsilbing liwanag. Liwanag sa dilim. Pin mong magiting ang bagong awitin. Ikaw ang liwanag sa dilim. Sigaw mo sa hangin, tumindig at magsilbing liwanag sa dilim. Harapin mo, magiting ang bagong awitin. Raise your flashlights! Liwanag! Sigaw mo sa hangin, tumindig at magsilbing liwanag. Liwanag sa dilim. Harapin mo, magiting ang bagong awitin. Ikaw ang liwanag sa dilim. Liwanag sa dilim.
Burahin ng takot sa iyong damdamin, ni pamalas ang angking galing. Tumayong buong tapang, harapin ang buhay, akapin ang tagumpay.
Tulungan ang kapwa at bigyang halaga, huwag hatakin ng pababa. Isiping wag sana ang sarili lang, pakisama't bayanihan.
Subukan nating isulong at lawawan ang magandang bukas. Ikaw at ako magkasama tayo, salubungin ang kinabukasan. Pagaling ating lahi, mandirigmang Pilipino, dakilang lahi ko, bayaning Pilipino sa makabagong panahon.
Halika't hawakan ang aking kamay, sabay abutin natin ang tagumpay. Patuloy lang tayo sa paglalakbay, tiwala sa Diyos ang sandat at gabay.
subukan nating isulong at ligawan magandang bukas. Ikaw at ako magkasama tayo sa lubungin ng kinabukasan. Baganin ating lahi, mandirigmang Pilipino, dakilang lahi ko, bayaning Pilipino sa makabago. Ating lahi, mandirigmang Pilipino, dakilang lahi ko, bayaning Pilipino sa makabago panahon.
The City Government of Tagum, under the leadership of Mayor Ray T. Uy, through the Tagum City Youth and Sports Development Office, in collaboration with Department of Interior and Local Government, Commission and Audit, City Budget Office, City Planning and Development Office, and City Accounting Office, proudly presents the distinguished Seal of Good Youth Governance. The Seal of Good Youth Governance, a strategic mechanism to assess SK's functionality, is conducted pursuant to City Ordinance No. 1098, Series of 2026 and Republic Act No. 10742, particularly Rule 4, Section 26 of its implementing rules and regulations, which mandates the provision of technical, logistical, and other support for the mandatory and continuing training of the Sangguniang Kabataan. As part of this mandate, the assessment serves as a vital mechanism in the overall performance of SK councils in the delivery of public service. It measures their effectiveness, administrative, legislative, and financial responsibilities. This accountability mechanism promotes transparency, accountability, and good governance. It identifies strengths, addresses areas for improvement, and helps ensure that youth-led initiatives remain responsive, effective, and sustainable for the communities they serve. The Sangguniang Kabataan Council, who will be in the top 5 in the assessment, will be given the much-awaited Seal of Good Youth Governance, a symbol of excellence, accountability, and transformative leadership. Being elected to the Sangguniang Kabataan is more than holding a position. It is a commitment to serve with integrity, lead with purpose, and empower fellow young people. It is about creating meaningful change and leaving a lasting impact in every community you serve. As our young leaders continue to champion good governance, accountability, and youth development, they shape not only the future of their barangays, but also the future of our city. Para sa kabataan, kaya sa Kabataanunang Tagumeños. We are Tagum.
Governance 2026 Awards!
Muli, isang mamagpalaya at isang dumaragundong na hapon sa ating lahat! Ayan! Kitang-kita ko talaga ng bawat isa rito ay ganiyak na upang matunghayan ang ating Seal of Good Youth Governance 2026 Awarding Ceremonies! And this time, we will be honoring excellence and recognizing those who have exemplified outstanding leadership, innovation, and accountability in advancing youth governance.
The Seal of Good Youth Governance is more than just an award. It is a symbol of excellence, a testament to hard work, and a recognition of the dedication of youth leaders and organizations who continue to make a positive impact of the 23 barangays here in the city of Tagum.
And this celebrates those who have gone beyond expectations, those who have transformed plans into actions, challenges into opportunities, and service into lasting change. With great pride and admiration, we now present the recipients of our distinguished awards. And may we request our awarding officials Miss Jeanette Huntilia Palmera, DILG Tagum Director. Miss Diana G. Buco, CPA. COA State Auditor 4, duly represented by Miss Sheila Likayan, CPA. Miss Jonah A. Carpentero, CPA. And Miss Maddie Jane Esber, CPA. We would also like to request the presence of our City Planning and Development Officer, Architect Luella May A. Dumadag, our City Budget Officer, Miss Karen Henti, 2025 Accomplishment Reports.
Let's start with the 2025 Accomplishment Report Submission, Rank 3, Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Magugpo West, headed by Honorable Ronald Jr. T. Piamonte and Council. Let's give them a round of applause, please.
Once again, congratulations to our Rank 3 2025 Accomplishment Report Submission, SK Council of Barangay Magugpo West. And now, our 2025 Accomplishment Report Submission, Round 2. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Visayan Village, headed by Honorable Sheila May O. Maningo and Council. Once again, let's give them a biggest round of applause.
And now, this year's 2025 Accomplishment Report Submission, Rank 1. Congratulations to the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay. Congratulations to the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Magugpo South, headed by Honorable Angela Gillian, R&D and Council. Let's give them a big round of applause, please.
Once again, congratulations to our top 3 Sangguniang Kabataan who submitted their 2025 accomplishment reports. Can we give them once again a biggest round of applause, please? Ayan, congratulations at maraming salamat sa inyong suporta at sa inyong serbisyo para sa Kabataanunang Tagum Menyos. Once again, our rank 1 accomplishment report submission, SK of Barangay Magugpo South. And to all our barangays na hindi nasama sa ating top 3, still congratulations for doing your best. And you deserve a biggest round of applause. Palakpakan ng bawat isa. Ayan. Thank you very much.
At this moment, I believe isa din ito sa hinihintay ng karamihan. We'll now proceed to the recognition of the top 3 performing barangays and monitoring and evaluation, 1 for programs, projects, and activities.
And these awards shall be given to the councils who are able to submit requirements as required by the National Youth Commission through the NYC SK portal. Ladies and gentlemen, our monitoring and evaluation Form 1 submission round 3. Congratulations! Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Magugpo South, headed by Honorable Roan Angela G. Rillion, RND and Council.
And now, monitoring and evaluation 1 PPA submission, rank 2. Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay. Congratulations! You are the rank 2 Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay San Miguel, headed by Honorable John Lloyd Iguna and Council. Let us give them a big round of applause, please.
Once again, congratulations to our round 2 for the monitoring and evaluation Form 1 for the PPAs. Barangay San Miguel, headed by Honorable John Lloyd Igona and Council. In our this year's monitoring and evaluation Form 1 PPA submission, rank 1, congratulations! Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Visayan Village, headed by Honorable Sheila May O. Maningo and Council. Once again po, palakpakan po natin ang this year's rank 1 for monitoring and evaluation Form 1 for programs, projects, and activities, Barangay Visayan Village.
And now, our next recognition honors barangays that have excelled in timely submission and monitoring and evaluation 1 for policy. Ladies and gentlemen, monitoring 1 evaluation Form 1 PPA submission rank 3, Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Madaom, headed by Honorable Island B. Monkey and Council. Let us give them a round of applause, please.
now our Monitoring and Evaluation 1 for Policy Submission Round 2. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations! Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Magugpo South, headed by Honorable Roan Angela G. Rillion, RND and Council. Muli isang maalab na pagbati po sa ating Round 2 for the Monitoring and Evaluation 1 for Policy Barangay Magugpo South. And our this year's Round 1 for the Monitoring and Evaluation 1 for Policy. Congratulations, Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Mankilam, headed by Honorable Christian Mahinay and Council. We would like to request the presence of our representative from the accounting office, Miss Malina Bermudez. Can we give her a round of applause, everyone? Once again, congratulations to our Rank 1 for the Monitoring and Evaluation 1 for Policy Barangay Mankilam, headed by Honorable Christian Mahinay and Council.
At this time, every award presented today represents countless hours of planning, consultation, teamwork, and service.
We will now proceed to the presentation of our special citation awards, and these recognitions are given to the Sangguniang Kabataan who have demonstrated exceptional initiatives and outstanding contributions with unique practices and on-the-day character during the assessment schedule.
Legislative Action Award shall be given to the SK Council with the most number of resolutions passed in 2025, including the unique resolution approved.
Ladies and gentlemen, our Legislative Action Award goes to the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Madaum, headed by Honorable Alan B. Monke and Council, with 50 passed resolutions. Once again, congratulations to our Legislative Action Awardee, SK Barangay Madaum, headed by Honorable Alan B. Monke and Council.
Our next award is a Policy Catalyst, and this shall be given to the SK Council with the most number of ordinances passed in 2025.
Our Policy Catalyst Award with 5 passed ordinances. Ladies and gentlemen, our Policy Catalyst Award goes to the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Magugpo South, headed by Honorable Roan Angela G. Rillion. Once again, congratulations to our awardee for the Policy Catalyst with 5 passed ordinances. Wow! That is so amazing.
Our next award is the strongest council presence in Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay.
This shall be given to SK Council with the most number of council members present during the 2 assessment schedules. Our strongest council presence award is Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Apukon, headed by Honorable Valens Palaroan and Council, with 7 council members in attendance during the field assessment and perfect 10 attendance during the document evaluation in the SK Functionality Assessment. Sila po ang nagpapatunay na ang Barangay Apukon ang best in attendance. Ayan. As we come nearer to the most awaited seal of good youth governance, we will be awarding the outstanding Sangguniang Kabataan who excel not just in deed, but in members in the 4 core governance areas. This time, we will be awarding the most outstanding in administrative governance area. With 254 points, ladies and gentlemen, our most outstanding in administrative governance area, Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Madaom, headed by Honorable Allen B. Monke and Council. Muli, palakpakan po natin ang most outstanding in administrative governance from SK Council of Barangay Madaom, headed by Honorable Allen B. Monke. Palakpakan po natin sila.
And for our next award, this is the most outstanding in financial governance. And our most outstanding in financial governance goes to, with 215 points, this is the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Pagsabangan, headed by Honorable Darwin Navarro and Council.
Ayan, palapan po natin once again ang most outstanding in financial governance area. We have Barangay Pagsabangan, headed by Honorable Darwin Navarro and Council with 215 points. And our most outstanding in youth development agenda with 143 points. Congratulations, Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Magugpo South, headed by Honorable Roan Angela Rillion, R&D and Council. Muli, isang maalab na pagbati sa ating most outstanding in Youth Development Agenda SK Council of Barangay Magugpo South.
And this award is the most outstanding in legislative governance area with 20 points. And this goes to Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Madaom, headed by Honorable Alan P. Monke and Council. Let us give them a round of applause, please.
And before we recognize our top 5 Seal of Good Youth Governance 2025 awardees, we will first present the certificates of assessment completion in recognition of their participation and commitment throughout the assessment process.
Certificate of completion is awarded to SK Council of Abucon, headed by Honorable Valence B. Palaroan.
The same certificate is given to Barangay Bingkungan, headed by Honorable Renato Opama Jr.
Same certificate is given to Barangay Busaon, headed by Honorable Adonis T. De Vero.
The same certificate is awarded to the SK Council of Barangay Kanukutan, headed by Honorable Nico Fort J. Ado, CHRA.
And the same certificate is given to Barangay Kuambugan, headed by Honorable Carl J. Quibel.
Yan, palapakan po natin ang ating mga sangguniang kabataan councils. Ayan, maraming salamat po muli sa inyong serbisyo at sa inyong pakikipaglaban para sa boses ng ating kabataang Tagumeños. And now, the same certificate is awarded to the Sangguniang Kabataan Council of Barangay La Filipina, headed by Honorable Eli Earl T. Bolos.
And the same certificate is given to the Council of Libuganon, headed by Honorable Patrick V. Aquino.
The same certificate is given to SK Council of Madaob, headed by Honorable Allen B. Monke.
And the same certificate is awarded to the SK Council of Magdum, headed by Honorable Larry V. Labastida Jr.
The same certificate is awarded to the SK Council of Barangay Magugpo East, headed by Honorable Elchamer S. Engito.
And the same certificate is awarded to the SK Council of Magugpo North, headed by Honorable Christian Fiel L. Alimpolo.
The same certificate is awarded to the Sangguniang Kabataan Council of Gay Magugpo Poblacion, headed by Honorable Muhammad Dale J. Mama Saraya. Acknowledging the presence of one of our city councilors, Honorable Shara Isabel L. Uy Salazar. Can we give her a round of applause, please? Thank you very much, Ma'am, for gracing with us today.
The same certificate is awarded to the Sangguniang Kabataan Council of Magugpo South, headed by Honorable Roan Angela G. Rillion, RND.
Certificate of completion shall be awarded to the SK Council of Barangay Magugpo West, headed by Honorable Ronald Jr. T. Piamonte.
certificate is proudly presented to the Sangguniang Kabataan Council of Mankilam, headed by Honorable Christian Mahinay.
The same certificate is awarded to the SK Council of New Balanban, headed by Honorable G. Samel L. Sesio, CHRA.
And this certificate is proudly given to the Sangguniang Kabataan Council of Nueva Fuerza, headed by Honorable Alima J. D. Dalgan.
The same certificate is awarded to the SK Council of Pagsabangan, headed by Honorable Darwin Navarro.
The same certificate of completion is awarded to the Sangguniang Kabataan Council of Pandapan, headed by Honorable Dominador D. Sedonio Jr., LPT.
And the same certificate is awarded to the Sangguniang Kabataan Council of Barangay San Agustin, headed by Honorable Leodel G. Limsan.
The same certificate of completion is awarded to the Sangguniang Kabataan Council of San Isidro, headed by Honorable Sherwin L. Tapa.
And the same certificate is given to the Sangguniang Kabataan Council of Barangay San Miguel, headed by Honorable John Lloyd J. Iguna.
And lastly, the certificate of completion is awarded to the Sangguniang Kabataan Council of Visayan Village, headed by Honorable Sheila May O. Maningo.
Once again po, palakpakan po natin ang ating 23 barangay, our SK councils, no? Grabe, hindi basta-basta yung mga pinagdaanan nila. Maraming butas ng karayom ang isinuong para matapos at maisakatuparan ang kanilang mga ipinasang dokumento sa ating Youth and Sports Development Office. Kaya naman po, sila po ay nararapat na bigyan ng isang masigabong palakpakan. Ayan, maraming salamat. Kaya naman po ang tanong sa araw na ito, sino kaya ang hihiranging Top 5 Seal of Good Youth Governance 2026? Sino kaya sa ating 23 barangays ang makakasama sa ating Top 5 Seal of Good Youth Governance 2026, Marian? Sa tingin mo, sino kaya sila? Sino kaya sila?
Kung sino yung mga taong talagang naghirap para makuha ang mga parangal na iyon.
At batid ko po na ang bawat isa na narito, bawat council na narito ay ibinuhos ang kanilang 100% para maitapos or matapos ang kanilang mga dokumento na ipinasa sa ating mga ahensya o sa ating organization. Ayan. This is quite, Marian, this is quite nerve-wracking and at the same time, exciting. Kasi dito na natin malalaman talaga kung sino yung hihiranging Top 5 Seal of Good Youth Governance for 2026.
Oo, and alam naman nating lahat na ginawa nila ang kanilang makakaya. Ngunit kailangan tayong may piliin para sa parangal na ito.
Siyempre, this wouldn't be happy kung wala ang ating mga offices na tumulong. Maraming salamat po sa lahat ng mga naging assessing teams or assessing members, committees. Maraming salamat po mula sa kaibuturan ng aming puso't isipan. Maraming salamat po. And this time, I am requesting our 23 Sangguniang Kabataan Councils to kindly proceed here on stage for a photo opportunity. Lahat po ng 23 councils po na pumarito sa ating harapan or sa ating entablado para sa ating photo opportunity. Muli, Kabataang Tagumeños, palakpakan po natin ang mga nagagandahan at nagkikisigang Sangguniang Kabataang Councils. Ipakita ninyo ang inyong smile. Matamis na pahiyom. Ayan. Youth sign. At this time, we shall also be recognizing all our assessing team members together with their heads of office.
We will start with DILG Max Michelle Wadsna. I apologize. Let us start with DILG Mix Michelle Wadsna A. Hape, together with DILG Director Miss Janet Huntilia Palmera, CLG 007.
We'd also like to recognize the representatives from the Commission on Audit, Ms. Lian May M. Kakayon, together with COA Auditor, Ms. Diana Jean Buco, CPA, Ms. Sheila S. Likayan, CPA, Ms. Jonah A. Carpentero, CPA, and Ms. Mady Jane Esper, CPA. Yan, syempre no, sila po ang naging assessing teams po kung sino-sino yung pinili for our winners no sa iba't ibang mga categories.
And we would also like to recognize our City Budget Officer, represented by Miss Rowena Breeze and Mr. Vincent Carlos Seguido, together with Budget Officers Miss Karen Hintelias, CPA.
And now we will recognize the representatives from the City Planning and Development Office. We have Miss Julie May L. Deparini, Miss Mary Crisma Richie Digule, Miss Mary Chris F. Grampon, together with Planning Officer Architect Miss Luella May A. Dumadag.
We would also like to recognize our representatives from City Accounting Office. We have Miss Pritzel Plaras, Miss Jeda Rose Lut Chavez, Miss Salvacion J. Caceres, Mr. Arnold Tributa, Miss Jemarie Baldonado, CPA, Miss Emeline G. Bermudez, CPA, together with our City Accountant, Mr. Ramil Y. Chu, CPA.
Once again po, palakpakan po natin ang ating assessing team committees. Yan sila po, nang dahil po sa kanila, napili po ang ating mga deserving na mga winners no, for this awarding ceremonies. Thank you very much po, ma'am and sir, no, for your time, your effort no, in assessing, in deliberating, and in evaluating our Sangguniang Kabataan Councils. And now, we have arrived at the most awaited part of this afternoon ceremonies, the presentation of the Seal of Good Youth Governance Awards.
This prestigious recognition award to our top 5 barangays that have successfully met and exceeded the standards of excellence in youth governance through transparency, accountability, participation, innovation, financial stewardship, and impactful community service.
And these awardees have become shining examples of what youth leadership can accomplish when guided by integrity and genuine commitment to public service. Ladies and gentlemen, here are the recipients of the Top 5 Seal of Good Youth Governance 2026. Let's start with our Seal of Good Youth Governance Top 5 with a total score of 497.5 points. Congratulations, Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Apocon, headed by Honorable Valens B. Palaroan and Council. Muli, congratulations po to our top 5 Seal of Good Youth Governance. Sangguniang Kabataan Council of Barangay Apocon. Round 5.
And let us now proceed to our rank 4 for the Seal of Good Youth Governance with a total score of 533.5 points. Congratulations to the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Pagsabangan, headed by Honorable Darwin Navarro and Council.
Once again, congratulations to our round 4 for the Seal of Good Youth Governance with a total score of 533.5 points. Barangay Pagsabangan, headed by Honorable Darwin Navarro and Council. And now, I will be announcing our round 3 for the Seal of Good Youth Governance with a total score of 547.5 points. Congratulations! Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Visayan Village, headed by Honorable Sheila May Maningo and Council. Once again, congratulations to our round 3, Barangay Visayan Village. So this reminds us, no, whatever barangay that you are kanang living in, no, maliit yan na barangay or malaking barangay, no, hindi siya madedetermine kung paano ka magli-lead o magsiserve sa iyong community, but it is always your genuine heart, your genuine service, and your genuine support para sa Kabataang-Unang Tagumenios. Yan, once again, congratulations po sa lahat ng mga naging kasapi ng ating Top 5 Seal of Good Youth Governance 2026.
Let us now proceed to our rank 2 of the Seal of Good Youth Governance with a total score of 567 points. And this is given to the Sangguniang Kabataan of... Congratulations, Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Madaom, headed by Honorable Allen B. Monke and Council.
Once again, congratulations to our round 2 for this year's Seal of Good Youth Governance with a total score of 567 points. Barangay Madaom, headed by Honorable Allen B. Monke and Council. And for the information of everyone, this Seal of Good Youth Governance is already a city ordinance. Ayan, so yearly na po siya mangyayari ang Seal of Good Youth Governance. And thank you to the people behind this, or drafting this ordinance. Maraming salamat po. And finally, this year's Seal of Good Youth Governance Rank 1 with a total score of 582 points. Congratulations to the Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay! Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Magugpo South! Headed by Honorable Roan Angela Rillion, R&D and Council.
Alay ko sa iyo, anumang pagsubok ang aking harapin, mananatiling nakatayo. Ikaw ang hihaya, kahit saan ka man patungo.
Ladies and gentlemen, your rank 1 for this year's Seal of Good Youth Governance, Sangguniang Kabataan of Barangay Magugpo South. And for the information of everybody, all of our top 5 SGYG awardees shall be receiving a 10,000 worth of PPAs. And may I request our top 5 awardees to kindly proceed here on stage for the photo opportunity.
Narito dahil lamang sa'yo, nanatiling nakatayo. Ikaw ang hiraya, kahit saan naman patungo, iniwanag ang pag-asa sa bawat sulok ng mundo. Halina't hawak.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us give our top 5 Seal of Good Youth Governance 2026 a biggest round of applause.
Ikaw ang hiraya, kahit saan ka man patungo, iniwanag ang pag-asa sa bawat sulok ng mundo. Ikaw ang
Once again, congratulations to all our awardees. Your dedication reminds us that leadership is not measured by recognition alone, but by the positive impact you create in the lives of the people that you serve.
And this year, all 23 barangays underwent a comprehensive assessment, each demonstrating dedication and commitment to serving the youth and their respective communities. At this time, we shall be revealing the official rankings of the 23 barangays. Once again, congratulations! Palapakan po natin silang lahat! And here is the official tally of 2026 SK Functionality Assessment Scores. Para sa kabataan, kaya sa kabataan unang Tagomenyo.
Let us celebrate every achievement, for each ranking reflects the hard work, perseverance, and commitment of our young leaders towards for good governance.
As today's meaningful gathering draws to a close, we now invite a leader whose dedication to youth development continues to empower the young people of Tagum City.
His unwavering commitment to creating opportunities for the youth has become instrumental in nurturing a generation of empowered, responsible, and community-oriented leaders.
Ladies and gentlemen, to deliver the closing message, please welcome our City Youth Development Officer, Mr. Edu G. Macabatas, MDCM. A round of applause, please.
Thank you, Marian and Rayma. Hi. Good afternoon sa atong tanan. Okay pa mo? Ay, wala na. Good afternoon, everyone. Congratulations sa tanan natong mga SK. Firstly, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. And really, dili na ko i-take ang honor sa mga nahitabo nga assessment sa atong mga SK. But I'd like to go back to the people who have been a part of the assessment. Firstly, akong kauban sa office, atong palakpakan si Lovely. Asa si Lovely? Thank you kayo, Day, for always juggling many tasks sa opisina. And of course, atong mga kaubanan from the city budget, Ma'am Karen, DILG, accounting office, COA, DILG, CPDO. Thank you very much to the Office of the City Mayor, of course, our Mayor, Honorable Ray T. Uy. Palakpakan na itong sila tanan, please. I'd like to thank also the presence of our City Councilor, Ma'am Shara. Thank you for always joining us in our endeavor for youth development. After all the series of assessments that we have done, there are only two things that I want to share to everyone. Firstly is being gratitude. Salamat is the feeling of gratitude. Thank you very much for always staying with us, for believing in the capacity and the potential of our youth. Today, we have earlier conducted the Good Governance Summit. This actually allows us to see how good governance can run in a local government unit where we always question the system, where we always question how the government operates. Pero if kita na mismo ang naa sa government, actually, ang atong mga SK can relate yun, ana, kung unsa ka frustrating ang mga proseso sa gobyerno. Tama ba? Diba, usahay ang pag-conduct sa mga activities kay usahay maka-question ka nga tama manunta ang atong intention. But again, we have to be accountable to the people's money. We have our commission and audit to check our financial spending na atong COA to accounting office to check kung how do we operate in terms of our financial housekeeping. So I'm very, very thankful for today, for arriving at this very moment. Looking back sa mga nahitabo in the past, we know that our SKs were challenged. Daghag mga questions sa ilaha about their commitments, about the way they run the SK Council. But again, let's give them a big, big round of applause because to be in the position, it's not really easy. There have been so much questions about their integrity, but again, if we do not believe in them, kinsa may mutuo sa ilaha. Hopefully, you too, being our youth in the city, believe in their capacity, their potential to lead you to govern the council. And secondly and last is the word commitment. We hope that what you have heard today, what you have witnessed today, powers you and fuels you to be committed to serve our fellow Tagumeños, to look at the certainties and uncertainties on the ground. Nga dili lang always nato makita ang kalipay. We always see the bad side. We always makita usab nato ang mga challenges on the side. But on that note, may we be committed. Kami sa opisina, we've been challenged with a lot of issues internally and even with how we operate sa office. But again, because of that commitment, because of that spirit of belief that we have in them, we continue to provide opportunities for our kabataang Tagumeños. And of course, sa atong mga SKs, bisan tuod nga si Ma'am Love ninyo magsigi og sige og chat sa inyo ha. Wala gid mi laing tumong kundi to help you, to assist you, to guide you with all our offices involved para matarong ang atong operation in all areas of governance. So salamat kaayo. May we all be committed from today onwards to believe in the power and potential of our youth. Today and this month, we are celebrating the Tagum City Youth Festival with the theme Malalim at Malaya, Lasting Friendship for Sustainable Futures. Why do we have that? Because at the end of the day, what matters most is the friendship that we have built. Ang mga panaghinigalaay nga atong ginahimo, we are not perfect as an individual. We are not perfect as a group. But at the end of the day, we build friendship. And I think that is the most important nga ato ang ma-develop nga quality. To understand everyone and their weakness, to see everyone in their strength, and to also acknowledge what they have as a person, as a group. Dagang salamat kaayo for today. I wish you all for the rest of the celebration of the Tagum City Youth Festival. May we all have a good day and thank you very much. Good afternoon, Kabataang Tagumeño.
Thank you very much, Sir Edu, for those inspiring words. Indeed, today's summit reminds us that good governance isn't merely a destination. It is a continuous journey that requires collaboration, accountability, and the active participation of every citizen, especially the kabataang Tagumeños. And as we come to the end of today's Good Governance Summit and Seal of Good Youth Governance awarding ceremonies, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who made this event a success.
To our distinguished guests, speakers, panelists, partner agencies, youth leaders, volunteers, organizers, and all our participants, thank you for your time, enthusiasm, and unwavering commitment to promoting good governance and empowering the youth of Tagum City.
And today's summit has been more than a series of discussions and recognitions. It has been a celebration of servant leadership, meaningful collaboration, and the incredible potential of the Kabataang Tagumeños to become catalysts of positive change in their respective communities.
And that concludes today's activity. We hope today's experience has inspired you, challenged you, and connected you with fellow young leaders and change makers.
Like the Tabanog, may we continue to soar, not alone but together, strengthened by the friendship and shared purpose we have built today.
Because when we work hand in hand, support one another, and remain committed to serving our communities, shared purpose, there is no limit to what we can achieve.
Once again, thank you very much to all of you for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you at our next Tagum City Youth Festival 2026 events.
On behalf of the Tagum City Governance of the City Youth and Sports Development Office and the entire organizing committee, thank you for being part of today's meaningful celebration. Once again, I am Marian Kaluban.
And I am Mark Namangkayaw from the Tagum City Hosting Collectives. Thank you for being with us at the Good Governance Summit and Seal of Good Youth Governance awarding ceremonies para sa kabataan.
Kaya sa Kabataan-unang Tagumeños,
We are Tagum!